Okay, so in order to show you how I'm drawing the still life, I brought it back to the dock camera. I will post for you what it is what I'm drawing, but unfortunately, it's not easy for me to show you at the same time as I'm looking at it. So I will just draw it in front of me and then show you my sketch. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the idea of where it is, and am I going to start out horizontal or vertical? That's the first question. Which way fits the best for the objects that I put? Then I'm going to look at maybe one of the main objects. So I'm going to actually start out with my clarinet. And so I'm going to draw the base, the clarinet, and notice it's not perfect. All right, I have an eraser with me and a pencil, and I actually have a bunch of pencils with points because I really like to draw with a sharp point. And I'm going to just lay out the beginning of the instrument. So right now I am drawing the lines for the keys on the instrument. But I'm not going to sit here and go through every detail right now. I'm going to get the basic idea, and then I will move on to the next object. But by putting these couple of keys here, it will help give me perspective as to where other things are. Now that was a mistake, so I will get rid of this. And no, you don't need to spend time with rulers. You just want to look at the shapes and draw what it is you see as straight as you can. And then so when I look at it, what's happening is at this part, I can see that the container that is holding the paintbrushes, the ceramic cup or pot, is right here. And I see not the edge, but I see that it's a curve, and it comes back around over here, and it comes down, and there are stripes on it. So I'm going to just draw in a little bit to show the stripes. Okay, and I already see a mistake because these keys are not where this is. These keys actually are over here. So I'm going to move them because that will be easier to move than to move my vase that I just drew with the brushes. So I'll erase that. I will say that was a lazy move for me to pick this eraser. It would have been better if I chose the pink eraser. They just work better. Okay, so there, and then I will put a couple of the paintbrushes coming up out of my container. And just to give myself the reminder of the way they look, the shape, but there actually over here are 4 paintbrushes, and this just one little cluster. And some have square tops on them, and some have rounded heads on them. So we'll put that on. And I will add in, sometimes it's hard to talk while you're concentrating, so I'm sorry if I'm not always telling you about what I'm thinking on my paintbrushes and my coloring, my contour drawing. So contour drawing is drawing the shape or the edges of what we see. So I'm including the edges, but I did include, if you remember here, I put in some details as to the line. So I showed you the edge of these colors. And so this is a full container of paintbrushes. These paintbrushes are all leaning on one another. So I need to put them in here and fill it up. There should be no real empty spaces. And there's some thicker paintbrushes, even though they're similar, they're different in shapes on the bristles, and they're also different on their handles, the thicknesses of their handles. So there's the ferrule of this paintbrush, and here's the bristles of this paintbrush. So I might want to remind myself that this is the bristle part. So put a couple little lines in there, but definitely not important to sit here and fill in every little detail on that, because that's not the most important thing here at this point. I'm just getting my idea. Now, I've already been filming this and talking for 4 minutes. So no, this is not fast. If we were in a regular art class, we would spend at least one art just drawing parts of these still lifes. Now over here, I have my other container. This was the glass container that has the seashells in it. And in order to give the illusion of 3D, things are on different surfaces. So they're lower down on the container. So this on the surface. So this container is all the way over here. It's lower. This is higher. This is lower. Things overlap. Those are another one of our trick words from how to give the illusion of things looking 3D. So I'll put this on here. These are the seashells I see in here. And there's also some shine on here. I might want to include that a little bit. And then there's the wires on here, and they're very dark. I can put that on. And there's the wire that goes up and over here. And this is actually being overlapped by the clarinet. So it's going back here. It has a lid that comes around. But part of the lid is not seen because it is covered by the clarinet. So that's just the beginning of how I'm going to do a contour drawing. I have more things to draw and add to this. But and I have the mannequin. He's over here, or she, who knows what it is. But it's over here, and it's leaning against, its arm is leaning against my clarinet. And so this is my first sketch. You're going to do two different ones. And the reason you do two different ones is maybe you don't like the way these are set up. So you want to move the objects. Or maybe you don't like where you're sitting. So you want to look at this whole picture from a different angle. You can move yourself and look at it from a different angle to see. Maybe I want my, not the clarinet to be the most important thing. Maybe I want to look at Artie, my little art dude. And so I want to start with him as the middle. Because what's in the middle of your composition is what is your most important. So what did I make my most important? Well, it's going to be the clarinet, the paintbrushes, and then the other things are going to go into it. So you're going to draw your objects in contour. That's drawing the outside lines of the shapes and maybe some of the colors and details to it. As I continue, I will include things like my clarinet. What are they? Keys and the other things to it. So I look forward to seeing your finished drawings on your Google Doc. Your finished sketches. They're just sketches. These are our two plans for our final project. Good luck.